appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. Now, I saw you started your company last year, correct?
It was about 2 years ago, but for the most part, we really started trying
Hmm.
to be more professional with it. Yes,
Gotcha. Oh, that's right. Okay. I read 2022 and I still felt like we were in 2023. That's why.
I hear you.
Cool. So, and you're still in school, right?
Yes, I'm a sophomore.
Hmm. So, college or high school?
Um, High school.
Cool. So, how has that been just trying to run this while you're also in school?
It's a challenge every day, but it's it's cool just because it's different than all my friends.
Hmm.
Yep.
And then how did you get into this? I mean, like, were you doing it for your family before? What gave you the idea?
Well, it actually started out as us doing lawn care.
Hmm.
Well, it started out as snow removal for our neighbors because we live about around some elderly people, which are amazing, by the way.
Hmm.
But we started with them, and then we just expanded to mowing their yards, and then other people figured out, and we got them too.
Cool. And then your brother is you're older, younger than you?
He's younger than me by
Mhm.
3 years, so
And whose idea was it originally?
it was mine, but he was quick to follow after.
Yeah. Cool. And then so what's kind of been, has there been any struggles with running a business with your brother? I know partnerships can be difficult.
Yeah, the shipping partnership always sinks. That's what I've heard, but um, probably just he can't drive right now,
Hmm.
so I get paid a little bit more than he does just for gas compensation. But that's all I can really say for partnership wise.
Hmm. And then you obviously started when you were fresh. No, sorry, you started eighth grade, right?
Correct.
So how are you getting the jobs back then? Would you guys just like walk the mower over because you didn't have a license?
Yeah, we just walked mowers.
Hmm.
We knock on doors for potential jobs.
Hmm. Really? So you would actually knock on doors?
Yes, and I'm in the process right now too. I actually just printed some door hangers as well,
Hmm.
so I'm excited to get those out.
What gave you the confidence to door knock? I know that that's pretty tough for some people. Like I definitely at your age wouldn't be that confident.
Well, I've gotten a lot of no's,
Hmm.
mainly YouTube, just seeing how these people have done so well from doing that, and I figured all they can say is no.
Hmm.
So,
Cool. And then a little bit of background on me. When I actually started my company, I'm in a partnership, just so you know. So they own all sync, just a majority of them. Um, our company was called College Student Lawn Care when we started. So I started as a student as well, just because it sells really well when you have that cute factor. That was a big thing for
yeah,
us. We always say, we're cute. We got to be cute. It sells. So what do you guys mainly do service wise?
we we're trying to start to get into it all, but for the most part, we mow for an average mow. We
Hmm.
will mow, trim, blow off everything, and then we'll edge it, make it look all pretty.
Hmm.
But we will do leaf removal. We'll take out trees. Uh, I'm even quoting a window cleaning job Monday. So
Yep.
I'm just trying to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. And then what would you say? Obviously, you guys are both working in the field, you and your brother, but what would you say your roles are? Like, are one of you more administrative, business minded? Is one of you more operational?
Um, I'm more. Can you rephrase it, please?
Yeah. So, like, when we started our company, my partner's name is Scott. So he grew up mowing lawns, doing his family's properties, very, very mechanical minded. He can fix things. He's just a master at the actual work aspect. I can do it, like, I can do it too, but he's just got a real eye and a mind for the kind of work we're doing. But me, I was very good at organization and making the schedules and invoicing and estimating and making sure all the paperwork and back end was also done while we were both working in the field. Do you guys kind of have a relationship where one of you is doing more than the other, or is it 50-50? What's it really looking like?
We're kind of in the same boat as you, actually.
Hmm.
I'm more of the mechanical minded one. We I've fixed up most of the mowers we have now. Bought them
Hmm.
cheap, fixed them up so they can be nice and useful.
Hmm.
And then my little brother, he's a lot more into the tech side, so he'll tell me some of the stuff that works better than others.
Hmm.
As of right now, he's not. I'd say it's about 60-40 on work.
Hmm.
I'm 60, but it evens out, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, because you both have your own strengths.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what's been what's your schedule look like working around school? Like, how do you manage this?
I get out of school at 3:35.
Hmm.
I come home for about 10 minutes. Most days just change into some work clothes.
Hmm.
It's been a little bit slower right now, but some days I'll go do a quote and I'll work till dark.
Hmm.
And I usually can only do it after school because in the morning I get up at about 5 to go to the gym and then I'll
Hmm.
do homework until school starts at 8. So
Hmm. Cool. And then, what do you like? What do you want to do with it? Is this something where you're like, hey, I'm just here to make some money while I'm in school? Do you want to grow this after school? What's the plan for you? Have you thought about it?
I have, I'd like to eventually be able to run it where I hire people out because I'm doing it as a way to learn how to manage people because I want to be in a lot of the categories when I get say in my 18 through 20 range.
Hmm.
There's a lot of stuff I'd like to complete in my life to where I'm set up.
Yeah. Now, does that consist of you just running your own company, or is that also like, for example, I know some people that I talk to, like they're building their company in high school so they could have one or two people running it while they, like, for example, do college or while they're, I know a lot of people, they're like firefighters, but have people who are running their business during the week. Like, what kind of situation are you thinking of doing?
I'd like to be able to have them basically run it by themselves
Hmm.
while I'm in college and then even out because I live in a small town,
Hmm.
so I mean there's opportunity, but there's more opportunity in other places. So I'd like to keep it, but
Hmm.
at the same time put it on somebody else.
Yeah.
And
And any thoughts on? I really, by the way, I think that's a great idea, especially if you're coming from a small town, because it's definitely good to go where the opportunity is. But do you have any idea of where that is? Like, do you know where you want to go?
um not exactly. I like being warm,
Yeah.
but we don't really get that in Kansas all the time, especially
Yeah.
in the winter. But probably West Coast maybe
Hmm.
or Texas, somewhere around there.
Yep.
But I haven't given it too much of a thought yet.
And how about majoring in? Like, what are you interested in actually studying?
I haven't really picked a major.
Hmm.
I'm looking at trade schools right now.
Hmm.
I'd like to I'd like to get an auctioneer's license. I'd like to get a real estate license. Um, basically, and I'd like to get a CDL.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to see what I can set myself up for, and I don't know. I'm trying to just broad categories
Yep.
that could help me with anything.
I think that's a great idea. You're really, because you really are getting a broad broad range of things there, so you can really figure out what you are interested in. Now, what is that? Have you talked to your brother about what he wants out of this?
Um, I think he's more in it for the money aspect right now. Like
Hmm.
he'll be driving a little bit, so he's gonna need to buy a vehicle.
Yeah.
Um, I think he'll go more into the tech side of things just
Hmm.
because that's what he gravitates more towards.
Hmm. And how's your family feel about all this? Are they supportive? Or what do they have to say?
Yes, they are. Um, Entrepreneurial things are kind of, I wouldn't say common in my family, but I've had quite a few good role models. My
Hmm.
grandfather he ran his own HVAC and electric company. My uncle, he's, well, he doesn't have his own business, but he's a foreman, so he's pretty high up in the pipeline. And my
Yep.
mother owns a motel. So,
Oh, awesome. So, was this something you kind of always knew from being young that like eventually I'm going to own something?
yeah, that's always what I was looking for.
Hmm.
I don't really like the idea of a 9 to 5 until 65, but
Yeah, I don't blame you. Why take a 9 to 5 when you can take a 9 to 9?
yeah.
Cool. And then, I mean, what are the biggest hurdles you guys are really facing right now?
Well, as you know, I'm under 18, so
Mhm.
I can't really do any invoice software where I get instant pay.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm looking at Square right now,
Hmm.
but it's kind of been a pain,
Yeah.
just that side of things. Um, I don't know. People typically treat me as I'm 18, I guess, as an adult because I try to keep things fairly professional.
Hmm. And then what else? I know you said you work out, your schedule's like you work out every morning, go to school, work. What else do you have? Sorry about that. Do you have any other hobbies, or are you just kind of very focused on like physical health, doing well in school, work? Like, what do your priorities look like right now?
I'm in a lot of after school clubs
Hmm.
like FFA, FBLA. I'm going to Topeka in a couple weeks because I qualified for a state event.
Hmm.
Um, Monday, I'll be driving a tractor to school for FFA week. I buy and resell vehicles. So
Hmm.
when I'm not doing this stuff, that's my like 7 to 10
Yep.
what I'm doing at night. It's ever changing all the time.
So you're obviously, for your age, you're someone who's clearly just working very hard and has a lot of focus. Do you find that makes it tough interacting with peers your age? Do you feel any disconnect?
Um, it can. I I try to help my buddies out as much as possible
Hmm.
because, well, I want to make it, but if none of my buddies do, I mean, if they don't want to, that's fine, but I'll do my best to help them as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, man. And then what does, let's say I could snap my fingers, right? And we're 5 years in the future. And in 5 years, everything you know you need to do and you want to do, you do it. You don't procrastinate, you don't get lazy, you don't make excuses, you just do it. What does your life, your business, and what you're doing look like in 5 years?
Um, my life, hopefully, hopefully I can just help my family out just as
Mhm.
much as possible. Um, Hopefully, I mean, the business is flourishing. Um, I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully I don't have to work. That'd be great.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I love just talking to my customers. I like the physical aspect of just knowing everybody in my town,
Mhm.
basically.
I love that. And then I know you said you do obviously want to move eventually for opportunity and get away, but is the plan? eventually to come back? Is the plan to stay? Like, what does that long term goal look like for you?
I'd like to I'd like to move back, hopefully get some land. Just I like to have a big shop. I like to tinker with things. I love making things. I love reading about like inventors.
Mhm.
That's really the main goal is have just time and space so I can work on some of my stuff
Yep.
and it would be pretty awesome.
Cool, man. Well, hey, Isaac, that was all the questions I have for you. But do you have any questions for me? I don't know if you know, I also own a landscaping company. I'm a young guy too. Any questions for me?
Um, what's your hardest aspect? What did you have to get over that was like your do or die?
When we started,
Yeah. Yep.
my ego. I wanted a big professional company now. But the thing was, like I mentioned, we start out as college student lawn care. What our real unique selling proposition was we were cute, and that really bumps heads with my ego wanting to be like, no, we're like a big professional company, but that's people's the customers know that's not what we are, as much as I pretended. And the thing was, they didn't want that. That's the reason they booked with us. They wanted the college kids who were like local, worked hard, they could talk to. Like that's why they booked with college student lawn care. And looking back, I probably really missed out on a big opportunity that first year to probably do even double the revenue we did, triple even, if I had just really put my ego aside and realized like what we should be focusing on right now is just be cute. I was 19 years old. I was in college. Like I might have been 20. I was 19 or 20. But yeah, like college student lawn care. Like people just want to help out the college kids. I should have went full speed into that. I should have been sharing on every estimate. Like I'm a college student. Like I'm working my way through college right now, because that's the stuff that like I how I explain it now is anyone can mow the lawn. That's like the first chore your dad teaches you, right?
Yep.
You can get a 10-year-old to mow the lawn. That's not why people are paying to mow the lawn. They're paying because one, they want to save their own time. They'd rather just give money so they don't have to do it. And two, a big reason people buy is because they believe in the product or they want to support you. So if they see like, wow, it's these college kids that are working through college, like in a way they want to help you. It's like a charity supporting you in a way. Now you still do great work. That's the thing. We'd wow them with our work, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, you guys are like amazing." But that's a great way to get in the door. And I should have let my ego rest so that we could have really hammered that aspect of it.
I hear you. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Any other
But
questions?
um, uh, I don't know what mowers do you guys run.
See, we're north of Boston in Massachusetts, so we're in the suburbs. So we run 21-inch mowers, Honda residential 21-inch push, because our average size properties 4,000 square feet of grass, really tiny. And it's not like 1 yard. That's like there's like five different areas of the lawn broken up by fences, and it's 5,000 in total. So it's tough. Um, any questions? Like, what are you struggling with right now? Is there anything you guys are struggling with that you'd want advice on?
Um, well, I'm looking to go commercial, but at the same time, I'm having a trouble with like you have to have insurance
Mm-hmm.
and stuff of the sort, and I don't really know how to go about doing that. I know YouTube does wonders, but at the same time, it hasn't. So
Do you know how many people live in your town? Do you know the population?
It's about 4,000.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think you should do commercial. And the reason is like what I said, you're a unique selling prop. Even though people do think you're older, and I would believe you, that's not your unique selling proposition. It's that, hey, I'm a high school kid. It's me and my brother. We're working hard. You could, like, you can pick up a lot of contracts if you really lean into that. Commercial, they do want that more professional, needs insurance, like, and also because you're in school, it just wouldn't work. The great thing about residentials is they're very flexible. You know, yeah, you can come, sure, just come like 3 to 8 p.m. I don't care. Commercials, it's very like, no, we need this done Monday, or like, there's things where it's like, if you're like, well, I can't, I'm in school, they're like, okay, no, we're not doing business with you. um, but like that's okay. If anything, I'd probably recommend for you, don't do commercial until you leave high school.
All
Um,
right.
but you can make a ton of money if you just focus on the residential and focus on selling you and your brother's story. That's it, man. Like every estimate, if I were you personally, my recommendation would be every time you talk to a customer, it shouldn't start with, what services you offer. It should be, hey, Mr. Mrs. Jones. So let me tell you a little about myself. My name's Isaac. I run this company with my brother, whatever your brother's name is. We actually started this company together 2 years ago. We're actually in high school, and we go to school every day, and then I work this from 3 o'clock to 8 p.m. every single day. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to. My brother's working to buy his own car. I'm working to pay for my college or whatever your goals are. And my real goal is I'm trying to gain skills in business management, administration, and just really set myself up and work hard over the next 2 years. So, so yeah, that's a little about me. So, what do you need done? Mowing? And at this point, they're like, "Oh, I like Isaac. What a great guy! Like, what I wish my son was like Isaac." Like, your customer should be thinking, "Wow, I wish my son was like Isaac. Isaac's so hardworking, and like seems like such a great guy." That's like they're gonna want to book with you just because they're like, "I like you." That's who they're booking with, not your company. That makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. Any other questions for me?
Um, I don't think so, but
Awesome. Well, hey, man, if any questions come up, feel free to reach out. I'll shoot you a text after this so we can stay connected. Feel free to reach out anytime. I'm always available. But hey, like, keep up the great work, man. That's really tough, especially to run a company and do school and also work out every day and also do your own hobbies and try to enjoy high school. That's tough, man. That's really tough. You're doing something that's really hard, but what's great about it is when you get out of college, you're going to realize how much you set yourself up. Because the thing is, I'm from an area that's really, I'm not from a small town. Like my town, 40,000 people population. Every town around me is 40,000. I'm in the suburbs. I'm in a piece of this country that got founded 400 years ago. It's dense here. So but even growing up in an area like this with so many people, I will tell you that the work ethic and the kind of schedule you're operating on is rare. And no matter what you want to do in life, whether it's run your own company or work at a company, if you keep that kind of work ethic and just get used to it and have that be your baseline normal, you can do whatever you want. You'll get whatever job you want. You can start whatever company you want. And not only that, people will be inspired by it. Um, a lot of people now, like, they're just looking for inspiration and something to believe in. And there is nothing more intoxicating than seeing someone else who has morals, values, and beliefs. Because so many people out there just they just don't have positive role models in their life. And someone like you is just a great influence for them. And people will follow you if you want to run your own company or you want to work at a job and have a team under you. Just by setting that example of how you run your life, people will follow you. But on the same side, it's a big responsibility. You got to have good values and you got to be a good person because whatever your values are and whoever you act, they're going to do the same too. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Cool, brother.